Good afternoon. Well, afternoon anyway. A bit grey and rainy today. Welcome to Dice and Bolts, and in this video I'm going to have a quick look at Invisible Sun, the weird surreal fantasy game from Monte Cook Games, using kind of variants of the Cypher system, their core system, but stripped down to make it a little bit more straightforward and a bit more magical in the way the game was. And the game uses a single D10. Simple as that. Big box, simple rules. Wait, oh, sorry about that. The way that it plays, and it's like the Cypher system, so you go maths, dice roll, drama. Takes it that way around. A guide will give you a challenge level as to what you're trying to do. It's a roll high system. GM or guide rolls no dice, so players have all the drama in their hands. And the challenge level is just a static number, and it goes effectively from 0, means you don't need to roll. Oh, the dice is it's a 10-sided dice, but it's 0 to 9, not 1 to 10. So the 0 is a 0 in this game. GM gives you a difficulty to do something. Say if you want to make a perception check to spot what's going on. Nice and simple. Challenge level 6. You then build what's called your venture, which is all of the things that you've got against that challenge level. So you might have 2 ranks in the perception skill. Okay, fantastic. So that drops the difficulty from 6 to difficulty 4. You may have a spell or a magic artifact or an ephemeral object that will give you a bonus towards it. That'll bring it down by another one, down to difficulty 3. And you can spend, you have a number of different pools that you've got points that you can draw from. So you can spend a point of your perception pool to bring it down another level. That'll bring it down to a 2. You roll the dice, 2 or more, and you've done it. So that 3, not a particularly hard roll, but because it's a combination of skill and magic and effort, effectively, you hit the target. Where the game then gets a little bit funny is that sometimes you will need multiple successes, which you can't do on one dice. And sometimes you will need, you'll come across challenges, which mundane challenges go from difficulty 0 to difficulty 9. Magical challenges go up to difficulty 13, which means you're going to have to apply skills and spells and assets towards them and efforts. The highest difficulty technically you can go in the game is 17 for various different reasons, and you need a lot of preparation and a lot of leverage to attempt those kind of tasks. But then, as I said, you've got sometimes where in the same example that you might actually need 2 successes. So by means of magic, you can add additional dice. Now, these additional dice are the same, except they go from 1 to 9, and that symbol there, which is not a 0, it's what's called a flux. You only ever roll those dice if magic is involved in what you're trying to do. So if you're casting a spell or using your character's inherent sortilege ability, you can add these additional dice. Go back to that previous ability. Say the perception task that you're trying to do is difficulty 11. 2 ranks of skill brings it down to a 9. Magic artifact brings it down to an 8. And 1 point of effort brings it down to a 7. But you need 2 successes. What you're trying to look for is magically stealthed up. So we need 2 7s or higher. We've not done it. You might have some additional ways of rolling multiple magic dice. But every magic dice that you roll, and you'd normally roll a maximum of 3, gives us a chance, A, of succeeding, but B, of rolling a flux. I can't even find it. One of them. You roll one of those, and irrespective of if the result is successful or not, something weird and magical happens. All of the drinks within a 30-foot radius of you turn into coffee. There's lists and there's tables, and it's the opportunity for the game to get strange. There is also a new supplement that's just come out that adds an experimental magic dice, which can only contribute flux to your success. But that's the dice and bolts of the Invisible Sun system from Monte Cook Games. Difficulty level reduced by your venture, so a build-up of skill, assets, determination. Meet or beat that with 1 or multiple D10s. That's the dice and bolts of it. Roll well, and I'll see you around.